So I'm really bad at Eve, but I like it. And so people like to watch me when I stream and usually make a lot of fun of me. So I started playing Eve 9 months ago under Illustria Meta Vita, and I don't know why it's not going. Okay, so I started July 9th, and I had no idea what I was doing. I was playing for about 3 hours, and I pretty much was just like, what the hell is this? And was about to give up. And then I realized, you know, nerds like to watch nerds play games, and so I decided that I would give streaming a try. And like I had no idea what I was doing, just like wandering around New Eden. I think I even left high sec like in a couple minutes, and everybody decided to tell me what to do. And so I had a bunch of people coming and hanging out and mostly giving me really bad information, but that was okay because it was more than I would have had otherwise. And so I got super lucky, and I'm really nervous, I'm sorry. So I took as much of the advice that I could, and I really was appreciating it from everyone, and so people decided that they wanted me to keep streaming and keep coming by, and everybody liked that I really wanted to learn. So in gaming circles, you know, everybody thinks of Eve as having a really bad reputation. And most people don't think that people playing Eve are very helpful. And for me, I'm really lucky that that stereotype was not at all true. And so people didn't come in just to say mean things and tell me how bad I was. They came to actually try and get me to learn and keep playing. I've gotten some really nice messages from people, a lot more nice than mean, telling me that, you know, I'm doing a good job and figuring things out, which was really, really awesome. So for me, I got to have a really like personalized tutorial instead of just kind of listening to Aura and kind of bumbling around. I had people giving me information. And I mean, a lot of the things that were told were like trolls and whatnot. But I learned pretty quickly that not everybody knows everything. And a lot of people were being like just silly face heads and, you know, having the best of intentions. So from there, you know, it doesn't matter what they were telling me. It was kind of gauging it on my own. And I learned pretty quickly that you really do not need hacking and archaeology trained to level 5 if you want to complete cans. So if you guys have that, like, I'm really mad at you. And if you need to learn how to hack or do exploration, you know, I got you covered. So I was being camped and trolled by a lot of not so nice people, mostly SMA, and that wasn't very cool. But I got a lot of people who, like I said, they want to help. They were here not just to kill me, and a lot of the people who did try to snipe me, some people decided not to actually kill me, and a lot of people decided to hang out and stay and keep giving me a lot of information, which was really, really nice. And I got to learn what I really, really liked, which was exploration. I did not PvP at all for the first 3 months, so I've been PvPing for about 6 months. And then 2 months ago, I changed over to Scared Panda because of the skill injectors. I could have the character the same as my Twitch name. And Rain and I decided to make a corporation called White Knight Social Club so that all of my super cool beta orbiters would fly around with me and be my White Knights. And our ticker is top.d, just in case you guys are worried. That's all that I'm here for, and it's really, really serious. So with all of that, you can see like the information of how to reach me outside of game. Yeah. So because I'm streaming, obviously it's not just like, hey, watch me and this is all I'm going to do and, you know, whatever. I realized that there's a huge community in Eve, and it's not just, everybody says that has, uses the word community for different reasons. It tends to be like a scapegoat or a catch-all for youth players, like how they're interacting. We've also been told that, it doesn't exist or it's just a buzzword, and, that's not true. I am literally the epitome of why that is not true. There's so many different ways you can connect with other players. And I think that it's absolutely amazing because we've got forums, whether it's just Alliance or Corp or whatever, and we've got Reddit, and we always know that Reddit's recruiting, and that can be like a huge circle jerk, but that's okay. And we've got different blogs, podcasts. I've been in a couple and help host the Tinfoil Factory and Neocom, so you guys should make sure to pay attention to that. And then we've got Discord and Slack and IRC and all these other super awesome chat clients. So there's always a way to connect. And then, of course, we've got all the weird people on Twitch. So the community isn't just like, local chat or, Alliance chats or, the personal chats that are made. Like, we have so many different ways that we can communicate. And, that's really, really important. So I got super lucky, like I said before, with streaming. I got to meet tons and tons of people. And, it gets a really bad rap, oh, stream whores on Twitch or whatever. And so people come in thinking like, oh, this isn't going to be awesome. What's going on? And that's not how EVE players work. That might be a lot of the other types of streams, but the people who come and watch EVE, they do it because of the game. They don't want to watch people who have no passion. They don't want to be around people who are, dressing just to show their bodies off or sit there and just try to get money. Like, that's not what the EVE streamers or what viewers are about. And so, like, the EVE streamers are super awesome, and it's like, we don't do a whole lot of non-EVE things because it rubs most of the people the wrong way. We're here because we actually like the game. And so because of that, they realized I wasn't just trying to, make money or do whatever. And so I've gotten super duper lucky and make a lot of friends. So after like 9 months in the game, I'm still like a baby child here. And it got to introduce me to a lot of different things. I got to meet, all my friends, everybody who comes in and follows. I usually get really excited and ask them for, or thank them for being my friend and all of that. And it's gotten me to connect with people that I wouldn't normally connect with. There's tons of minors that, I won't ever like kill them, but I wouldn't ever play with them really either. And I get to talk with them, and that's really cool. I was able to find different things that I would like or not like in EVE, and like I wouldn't have had that if it weren't for the people that wanted to let me know, like, hey, you can try this, or you probably shouldn't be doing that. So I wasn't playing EVE at all during like BTAC-R, and I'm sorry, lads, but I still really don't know what happened with all of that, and I don't really care to find out. But I'm probably one of like the few people that, knows lads as not goons, except for like giving him shit for it, because like, why? But that's okay, because he's got all of his super awesome stream stuff. But I wasn't interested in PvPing at all when I started. I was in Signal Cartel, and all I wanted to do was like run away and shoot fireworks off and just be nice, and I was like super Care Bear, and I really, really liked it. But thanks to everybody who wanted to hang out on my stream, decided to tell me that I really, really, really needed to PvP. So I started, like I said, about 6 months ago, and I really, really like small fights, and I was the #1 Tristan pilot of New Eden last month. And I'm like super proud and super smug about it because, I'm really not good, but people are worse, so that's okay. So, like, back then I had no idea, when I was starting before really PvPing, who Suetonia was, and that a lot of people think that he's a really, really great frigate pilot. one of the best PvPers in the game, and I'm really, really lucky that he decided to tell me how bad I am at fitting ships and then how I might be able to do better. So then, like, it comes to Elise, who I think all of you guys know. He's known for, you know, what he did previously in the game. He says that he doesn't really do anything now, but we know that's a lie. I had no idea who he was or what he meant to the game or anything like that. I just knew that he decided to come like hang out one day, and now we go out and fight, and he's been able to teach me pretty much everything I know, which is really nice, and I'm like the luckiest person in the world to have like the best PL member, you know, teaching me what I'm doing. So, you know, CSM just happened. You know, we found out that Gorski got reelected. I didn't know him. I actually didn't know he was in CSM last year until like a month ago. We would, you know, fly around, kill things, and just do whatever. Didn't really talk about anything about Eve other than like when we were fighting. And then he got to explain to me a lot more of what was going on with CSM, and that's pretty cool. And like, where would I find that? You know, in Twitch, or maybe if someone like introduced me somewhere somehow. So as I like talked more to people and got to like find out their stories, I realized like I was super duper lucky with the way my experience in Eve kind of took its turn. And like Eve players are super, like I said before, like incredibly shrewd. They can see what you're trying to do. They can see that you're not necessarily genuine about your reasons for playing, and they're going to call you out on it. And like as long as you're loving the game, like people are going to want to play with you. They're going to want to be your friend, and it doesn't matter what in the game they do. They're there for you, and I'm super super lucky for that. So everybody here should have been or has been in like situations where you finally like understand what Eve is and how much you've learned, where things like are finally making sense, and you kind of can appreciate the magnitude of the game. And it's one of like the super super serious like issues, I guess is the best way to put it, where it can be super dangerous and you don't really like know what's going on. So we've all, you know, seen this picture, and I mean, I knew about this like well before I'd been playing. I'd been watching and paying attention to the game, obviously, like not nullsec politics, but just random things for like 5 or 6 years before I actually was able to play. And this was the main reason why I was afraid to do it. And as you all know, I'm scared panda, so I was really scared. I still am scared. But I went from and losing a lot of Asteros, because that's what I was told I had to fly, for the first couple months, and I started playing. I lost 2 kilos there. Did you know they're really slow? Like, really slow. So I jumped into Huola and lost it immediately because I didn't know how long it took to warp out. Did my 24-hour stream and lost like 4 Stratioses. So I like did really badly. And then this has been everything in my first character. This has been me since. And then April doesn't really count because I've been getting ready for this. So I got to learn how to like kind of not suck, all because of what everybody wanted to help me with and tell me what to do. So I'm like super proud, because a lot of people that I see when they fly do not pay attention to what's going on. They don't necessarily know how they want to fight. They don't know what they can fight. I still don't really know that. But I was forced, you know, into things that I wasn't necessarily interested in, and I got to, oh no, sorry. I got to like learn from people who are way better, that really, really don't need to be playing the way I play. They have better things to do with their time or whatever, and they've taken the time out to help me and tell me like how much better my fit is than other people's, even though I didn't come up with it. And that's something that, you know, I probably, like I said before, I wouldn't have had before, or if I had not been going through all of this. So as the community taught and everybody wanted to, help me out, I learned, I absorbed, and one of the biggest things that I want to let people know is that it really doesn't matter the skill points that you have. And I'm like super duper proof of that, like you guys just saw there. So I was really, really into exploration. Then I learned, I want a PvP. And with the support of everyone, that happened. I did all right. Now, from there, I thought, hey, there's no way I'm going to be able to, I can't fight something. It's bigger than me. I didn't know that bigger ships can't necessarily target little ships or, whatever's going on. So I decided that I was going to learn how to be a frigate pilot. And so when I got Scared Panda, I decided to, well, actually, no. So in mid-February, like I said, skill injectors came out, and I decided to make my character me, or Scared Panda, and basically hit random with pretty much everything, and decided to just use a bunch of skill injectors. A bunch of people from my stream or random people were giving them to me so that I could have a character that I was actually happy with. So Scared Panda, the #1 Tristan pilot in March, only has 12 million skill points. She is a near perfect frigate pilot, and she can fly one cruiser type, I believe. And I don't think I liked it. So I can fight things that I have no business fighting, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I can overheat, because I have Thermodynamics 5 today, because everybody told me not to do it, but I could only do a little bit of overheating. I probably still will never do it, but I can, and that's something that people who have been playing for 10 years, they don't know what it's like to not be able to fight something because you literally don't have the capability to use a Tech 2, a Tech 2 mod, just because of the fact that you have no support skills to get anywhere. And that's super, super frustrating. But at the same time, if you are willing to train or wait or do whatever, you have the ability to do it. So Scared Panda, like I said, has about 12 million skill points. That's about being a 9-month-old character. So while I injected her, I didn't go above and beyond what I would have had I had her from the beginning. So I essentially turned from Scared Panda to Scary Panda. I fly around Sudorento and Pasmajala. People there are really afraid to fight. I watch them fight a lot of other people, but when I come into system, a lot of them dock up. And it's actually super frustrating, but also really cool, because it means that, they're not good. So when I go roaming, I like to think that I'm going to do okay, and generally I do, but the first roam I went out on, Sutonia, Rain, and Elise all came out with me. They're like, yeah, Panda, it's fine. We'll all go, we'll fight something, and, you'll get some kills on your kill board. Well, no, what they decided to do was, let me go take on a fight. I actually don't even remember what ship it was, but I soloed it, and I was really, really excited. So they're all sitting there, orbiting the fight, but I was the only one doing anything. So I thought I was going to die. I didn't. I was really, really proud. So my first kill on Scared Panda is a solo kill. So in the next couple of days, I got 15 kill marks before I died on my little baby Tristan. By the way, if you don't have a Quaif Tristan, you really need to get it, and it's only 15 million skill points, and if I see you and you're not blue, then I don't care if you're blue on the overview, because I probably will never blue you, but at least you'll have a cute little blue Tristan. So I did really well. I've been playing as Illustria with the Quaif Tristan, and I was doing pretty well, and I was the #2 Tristan pilot, I believe, for February, if we combined Scared Panda and Illustria together. and how many kills I got on both of them just in the Tristan. So obviously at that point I'm like, well, I have to be number one, because why would you not do that? So I have to become the best. And I was able to do that. I started to get not bad, and I went from thinking that everything was happening like super, super fast to like slowing down and being like, hey, I forgot to turn on my DCU. Like, I can do that now. It's not like the fight's over. So I got to be able to go from, maybe doing 5-10% damage in like a 2-man fight to top.D, and it was pretty great. I've been able to learn how to read scenarios. I can tell if things are bait, which I had no idea before. I can tell you, the type of players that I'm seeing, whether or not they're going to, if they're going to fight me now, or if they're going to run away, bring some friends in, or if they're going to want to, take on this new player and see if we can kill her. Usually they die and then bring back a much bigger ship and still die. So that's pretty cool. I get to call people and tell them how bad they are in local, or call them little bitches because they're not willing to fight a girl. So that's super fun. From doing that, I was able to get the mindset from the community that, it doesn't matter how good you are as long as you're enjoying yourself. So from that, I've got the back seats and I've got everybody saying, you've got this, don't even worry. So from there, I learned that, I can get 300 kills in a month. It's not that hard. And from that, I learned how important it is to make goals for yourself in the game. If you don't have something that you're working for, you're not going to get anywhere, and you'll probably lose interest. Even if you change the goals, or, decide that you don't like it in the end or whatever, the small little goals that you have are going to be able to make you, some crazy, unrealistic goals are going to make them real. Hopefully, the next couple months I'll be able to be the top Tristan pilot in all of New Eden and have more kills than anybody else, or maybe the top frigate pilot. Who knows? That might be possible. And so, the community hasn't only given me the love for the game and given me things that I'm interested in. I've also gotten some absolutely amazing friends, like I've said before. And it's the reason why I'm actually here today. I don't mean metaphorically or anything like that. The reason why I'm here is because Suetonia decided to do a 24-hour stream. And instead of asking for donations for himself or asking for donations for a charity or anything like that, the whole point was hashtag PandaFest, to get Scared Panda to Fanfest. And basically what happens is, you do a 24-hour stream when you hit a benchmark of, followers, or you get partnered, or you do something big, and, it's always a celebration. And it really actually super sucks doing. But he didn't get up from his computer for 24 hours. People were asking, hey, who is this panda? Main question, is she cute? What does she do? And his answer was always, she's a super awesome streamer. She does really nice things, and, we want to get her to FanFest. And from that, I'm here. It's super, super crazy, and it's I never thought it was going to be possible. I remember that day I was steam cleaning my carpet, and Rain calls me, and she's like, yo, Suetonia, you just got $700 or 700 whatever euros. You're probably going to FanFest. We might not get it today, but you have to go now. It's okay, what? I am still super emotional about it, obviously, and I would never think hey, yeah, I'll be in Iceland, for a video game, and it'll be because people actually want me here. It's not something I would have ever dreamed of, and that's a reality. So, obviously I said more than just what, but I'm a lady here and I can only say so many bad things, so I'll be dignified, and it's great. But, Suetonia had been asking me, hey, can we, give me your information, put your PayPal in here, we'll get you there, and I was kind of no, it's okay, or actually, no, that's a lie. I told him I was going to give it to him, and I just blew him off, because I, felt really bad. I didn't want to ask anybody to to help me get here. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it on my own, but like, that's okay. You guys can have fun, and like, I'll just watch all the streams and stuff. But it wasn't Suetonia's followers in the end that decided to help pay. You know, it was people who were watching me, who had watched me from day 1, day 2, you know, to just a couple months ago or a couple days ago. They all knew that I was super excited about the game. Everybody asked me why I played. Well, it's because I really like space, and it was really pretty, and I wanted to like give it a shot. So, you know, I didn't ever think like, oh yeah, I'm good at this game, I have anything important to say, or, you know, do whatever. But after everybody decided to do this for me, you know, I like obviously feel like incredibly grateful, and I wanted to make sure that there was something that I could do from it. So, like, I'd been streaming for a while, I was used to it, I kind of knew what I would like doing from there, but I wanted to do more than just like take. I wanted to make sure that the community that helped me, that I could do something to help back. So there's a number of charities or different things in games that I've been helping with. I try to do tutorial streams, but I usually just like start yelling, and they might not actually be that helpful, but I can answer questions, so that's pretty cool. And there's been a lot of new streamers for the war and whatnot. So I've been, you know, trying to help them, let them know what's going on. So from there, I'm really proud to say that, oh, actually, you know what, I think I need to, whoops. So basically, all these people decided to help me, and I want to help back. So Rain and I decided to do a 72-hour stream, and we brought in a bunch of super, super great people that wanted to, you know, help and make sure that things are absolutely, you know, the best for everyone else. So we did, we had Bjornby, Christopher Wow, Lise, Laz, Lysis, Mr. Maillight, Nordumshine, Rain, me, Schwing Schwing, Suetonia, and YOLO, all coming together to help make Spam for Heals, which is Broadcast for Ups, an actual charity. In 72 hours, we ended up raising over $6,000 from tons of different people, and actually I have access to see who's donated since, and I believe we're up to like 8,000 or 9,000 from people who didn't want to donate on stream or didn't want their names out there or whatever. And basically it's gone from, you know, people helping me to me helping back. And since then, you know, people are always asking me like, hey, what can I do for you? What can I help you with? So on and so forth. And it's been super, super nice. But basically, like, I think the most important thing is to find out like what you can do with the community. Because people are always like, yo, well, like, what are you doing? How do you do this? And it's like, be yourself. You've got ways to reach people, and people are going to reach back out to you. So, you know, get into streams, you know, talk to other people, and like, don't be afraid to like be a weirdo, because people, like, we're all weird here, and you know, they want to play with us and whatnot. And so when people are going to help you, you're going to help back. And then, of course, like, if you want to reach out, people are going to be there for you. They're going to want to be your friend. You're going to want to be theirs. They're going to support you. They're going to teach you what you need to do. And they're going to make sure that you can get what you need. And they're going to ask, and you're going to want to give back to them. And I think that's absolutely super, super important. Because without all of us, like, playing and being a part of it, like, we wouldn't, like, CCP wouldn't still be making this game. And I think that that's something that's, like, super, super fulfilling, knowing that every month us logging in and us subbing is going to make something happen. So thank you guys all for being here and like helping me and whatever, and you know, being my friends and stuff. And so maybe like in a couple months I'll be #1 Tristan pilot and or frigate pilot, and I can be like, yeah, I'm finally good. But yeah, so thank you guys, and I guess I have question time now. So does anybody have questions? Anybody have any questions or no? Because it'd be better if you don't, because I'm scared. Oh my gosh, I don't need pictures taken of me.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Okay, so when you started, you didn't want to do PvP.
Mm-mm.
which I think most people, when they first start playing Eve, not most, but a lot, fall in that category. But do you think that was the right decision for you? Do you think that's the right decision for a lot of people?
Exploration can get you a lot of money. So are a lot of different things that are not PvP. And I think that it's good to have like a foundation of what you like to do other than fighting. And that's not something that a lot of people realize when they're telling new players what to do. So I think it's good for like a balance to have, you know, both, have an interest in each thing. But there are a lot of people who go into PvP, don't know what they're doing, and just say, you know, screw it, I'm done. And I think that that's like the main drawback. So if you can have something on both ends, like, you'll be good. If that answers your question. Go for it.
How, as a Eve streamer, do you combat stream snipers?
I don't. I have like no OPSEC really. I think the only thing, I have like a couple private channels behind my webcam. For the most part, if people want to come snipe me, like they can. They'll either bring something that I can't fight, or they'll bring something I shouldn't be able to fight and they'll lose. And so people just don't do much to try and get me. Granted, I really, really enjoyed stream sniping when I was not doing PvP and I was doing a lot of like firework things. And so I got killed more doing that than I was when I got stream sniped. Yeah. Anybody else? What's up?
Do you feel there's anything CCP do, and if so, what would that be to help new players? Like, from your experience, what do you think they could have done to help ease you into the game?
The tutorial sucks. I think we all know this. Whether you started like 10 years ago or now, it's improved a lot. Because when I made Illustria, it was basically like it doesn't matter what race you are. And then I made Scared Panda, and actually a week later they did another update, and you could like the skill points like for each race like was more like streamlined, I guess, and you kind of had a better like basis. And I think as long as like what CCP can do is like make sure that the characters, that you have something you can start with immediately, and then kind of give you a story. Like I really liked what Ghost was talking about, where it gives you something that you can like immerse yourself in, and by doing that with the missions or tutorials or trainings or whatever, you have an idea of what the game works rather than just a little thing saying, hey, click on this and go. And so I think like so far what Ghost is talking about, like that's like exactly what I've been wanting. So, yeah.
One thing that strikes me about streamers is rule number one is don't fly what you can't afford to lose. If you look at certain streamers, if they get a little popular, get like billions of ISK, sit in somewhere station, oh yeah, I'm gonna fly this hill by, don't pay attention to anything. How do you like explain to people that follow you and are new players that what you do is probably not something that they can do? Because I've seen like GK fitting a frigate for 350 million, not realizing how much money it is.
Yeah, so Moose, actually, when I first started, it was like my third day, came in and like rated me and gave me, like I think by the end of like him and a bunch of other people giving me ISK, I ended up with like 11 billion in my wallet. And I really had no idea what that meant. People were, you know, and I was like, okay, well, all of this sounds like a lot. Like I thought 1,000 ISK was like maybe like $100, not $100, like 6 gold, I would say, like in another game. So then 1,000 was, or you know, 1,000,000 was like so much. Like it blew my mind. And so I literally had no idea. People were like, oh, just fit this. Never listen to people who tell you how to fit things in a stream chat. Like it's almost always wrong. And so I didn't have any concept of what the ISK was. And so from there, I learned pretty quickly, like, you really shouldn't have flown that. So when people are asking me about it now, like, I pretty much say, like, I don't know why I have all this money, but all I know is I'm flying something cheap that I should, like, that I would be able to have if I wasn't streaming. And then, like, I pretty much tell everyone, like, don't listen to the fits. Like, that's pretty much it.
Would you also say that you have an unfair advantage because you immediately came in and there was a whole bunch of people who kind of wanted to be your friend, so you were immediately stuck into a social situation? Whereas some people, like, just fire up the client at home, they don't know anybody, they just log in, they're all by themselves, and they're in space alone.
Well, I mean, yeah, so.
Right? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of people in your chat going, oh, hey, Scared Panda, do this, do that, whatever, and you feel like there's some connection to a community, but the average person's not going to get that. They're just going to be like alone in space, which sucks.
Well, I was that person, and I would have quit the game if I didn't try streaming. So yeah, I did definitely have a completely different experience. I found it afterwards that I had a couple like real friends that play or played, and so 100% it's completely unique. I'm super lucky. But that being said, most streamers have that experience. You know, they log in, they might not get 50 views their first time, but they have people who come in right away, and then they have people who more often than not want to keep interacting with them. And so, I mean, streaming Eve is very different than playing Eve without an audience, but we all pretty much have like a similar idea or experience with that. So yeah. Yes, what's up? Yep.
So my question is about women playing Eve. So the percentage of women that play Eve is very low.
Mm-hmm.
My daughters are pretty much grown up now, raised in a house of gaming all the time. They won't touch the game. How do you suggest we can get more women players in Eve?
By telling them that it's absolutely a fantastic game. More often than not, women are not afraid of how they're going to be treated in the game, because Xbox, PlayStation, you're a girl and you're just going to hear everything stupid because it's a bunch of 14-year-old children. Eve is like, I forget what the main demographic is, but we're adults. You know, we've got an incredibly high amount of like lawyers and doctors that play this game. So while people might be trolling, it's really not that negative against women unless they're being like the typical like, I'm gamer girl, like what's up, give me everything. Like that's the only time that it's really an issue. So bringing new women into the game isn't so much about like how they're being treated. It's that they need to know that it's going to actually be fun. And whoever said that about Mintchip, that is definitely not okay. She actually was not treated well, and that's something that was really disappointing. I had no idea who she was, and I was called the next Mintchip for like 3 months. So I looked her up, kind of figured things out, and the perception of her is completely inaccurate. And you guys like really need to try and pay attention to that, because that's what people are gonna hear about Eve. They're gonna hear about all the bad things that happen and all the wrong things. So, yeah. Is anybody? Yeah, I really like her. When she first came in, her first like day or so was during our 72-hour stream. She decided to go out on my Friday night roams, and she learned a ton. Now she's doing all sorts of different things. I don't know that, obviously I don't do the same thing as her. I'm not going to report on something that I just don't find entertaining. But she's doing something that a lot of people wouldn't do, and I think that's super respectful. And the people that have trolled her, they deserve to lose their alliance. So. Okay, I think I have time for 2 or 3 more questions, if anybody needs or has any more.
Anything in Eve you're still wanting to do?
Yeah, I really want to sit in a fiend. That's about it. I mean, I'm sure that there is something I'm going to want to do, But right now, I'm having a blast doing what I'm doing. I know I need to like learn ships, like bigger ships, and try and fly them. But right now, I'm having a blast, just messing around. And when I find something else, I'll go for it. But, yeah. Anybody else? Like.
What other ships do you fly apart from Tristan?
I've learned to Fed Navy Comet. I flew a Myrmidon once, and I lived for 8 minutes against a Falcon and 2 other big ships, and I was really proud. And I mean, an Astero. If you ever see me in a Stratios, please don't kill me. I don't know why I fly them, but I really I have such bad luck with them. So just take pity on me there. Any other ship, you can come fight me. I don't know that there's anything else. Like Asteros, I really like for exploration, but I think that's it. I'll learn more. I need to learn more. So, yeah. Anybody else? This is so awkward, wondering if people have questions or want to know more, because I'm yeah. So, well, if nobody has any other questions, I just want to say thank you again, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time out to sit and watch. I know I yelled at a bunch of you to come because I was afraid that nobody was gonna watch, but I really appreciate it, especially because most of you probably are hungover. But yeah, so.